I'd love to switch gears and talk a little bit about the petition to increase the homestead exemption in Florida to $100,000. Now, there's 67 counties in the state of Florida, and TitleAtom.com has a link to each one, but each of those counties stand to gain from increasing the homestead exemption to $100,000. Today, you can get to 50, and that's not reflective of the real estate market. The last time this was addressed, real estate values were a fraction of where they are today. People need real relief. We live in a state where there's senior citizens that are making decisions on which prescription they will fill this month if they're able to do one at all. We have first-time home buyers that are right now getting their very first property tax bill in the mail, and they will have sticker shock, especially if it was new construction last year. So as you're looking at your trim notice this year, I'd like for you to ask yourself, what would $500 savings mean to your household as we slide right into holiday season 2025? Now, the truth is, tax bills are set for this year. It is what it is. At this point, we're working towards 2026 and beyond. And believe it or not, we do have to start working right now to get the support to get this in front of the decision maker. I want to make a quick comment because I've gotten a lot of support. Brian, thank you for signing. Sal, I know you signed as well. If you haven't yet signed, take a quick moment and sign this petition. But to the people that have remarked that it's not enough, that it is a waste of time, I would just like to ask you to please reconsider that. And I would tell you that if we don't start somewhere, we will get nowhere. The politicians in Florida and in this country would love for you and I to argue about this topic until the cows come home, while they continue to bill you full rate for your property taxes. We have to find a spot to put our foot in and then work from there. So I would love to see no property taxes for homestead. I'd love that. But the reality is it's not going to happen quickly. It's not going to happen today. We can start with 100,000. So I just implore you, if you haven't yet done it, sign it. If you have signed it, thank you. Share it with others on your social media. We have, at this point, 208 signatures, and I would just like to give you flavor for that. I live in Lehigh Acres, and there's a sign that I pass twice a day coming and going that we have over 125,000 residents in Lehigh Acres alone. You tell me why Title Atom's only been able to get 208 people to say that this is a good idea. If you are a homeowner in Florida and you dedicate your homestead to our state, you should be burning rubber to sign this petition. I'm sorry, but it's true. And we have the tax money to do it for you. I've created the framework. We just need for you to sign the petition so that we can get it in front of the people that matter. Ron DeSantis has said, I'm going to let the people vote on it. I don't trust Ron DeSantis, and I'm sorry, because I think that at the end of the day, it won't make it on the ballot, and we'll do it next year, and Ron DeSantis has gone on to other things. This is a way to force accountability for local politicians and tell them this is what we want. This is a check and balance and a way for us to inspect what we expect. It's my rant. Thank you for letting me talk about it, guys, because it's something that I try to talk about every single time I turn the microphone on.
But I'd love to bring up some points on that.
Please,
because I'm a big advocate. Once you mentioned it, I said, where do I sign?
Yeah, I know you do.
And I think that it's important. You brought up a good point. One, homes aren't what they used to cost. So the fact that we're getting $50,000 homestead exemption, it's not the same. Two, the distraction. Yes, everybody keeps thinking, well, it's going to be eliminated. They're working on it. Governor DeSantis has done incredible work in the state of Florida. We don't know whether he's going to be able to make that change or not. So just waiting around is not effective.
Yeah, and not to jump on you, but he also, Governor DeSantis, had a feasibility study that was designed to study this canceled. And it's a very slippery slope, because I think that the angle that he took was, we don't even need to study it. We're going to put it before the people on a ballot. And I believe that that is just a way to slow it down, get it, basically kick the can down the road. And I think Ron DeSantis has done a lot of great things for Florida. And Ron, if you're watching this, thank you. But I want to see proof, and I want to drive that legislative behavior through documented support from the community. Sorry,
right. So with the start of changing from 50,000 and increasing that to 100,000, that's a great start. If it just happens to be where he does effectively eliminate that, well, round of applause.
Great. He'll be a hero.
But let's start somewhere. So I encourage people to sign the petition, start here. Your signature will make a difference. Yeah. Like he said, there's just too many of us who own a home that if you're not signing, you're a fool.
Yeah, if I knocked on your door once a year and offered you a check for $500, would you turn me away? You would not turn me away. I don't care who you are, because if you have a lot of money, you could always use more. And if you don't have money, then you certainly need it today. This is real relief that's needed and deserved today.
One more point. I did mention it to somebody else, in passing, and he brought up a good point. He says, I would hate for Governor DeSantis to remove taxes for properties. I said, what? That's the first time I've ever heard somebody.
Right.
This guy's a conservative.
Yeah.
He owns a lot of property. So I would assume that he wanted that. He says, you know why? You already have a system in place to generate revenue for the state. Where that money goes, that's what I want to solve.
That's a really good point.
And when I saw that yours was 100,000 versus total elimination, I said, that is a good avenue for Adam to help people understand.
Yeah, I think a lot of people visit our state, and if I have family up in Indiana, for example, and if you go up to Indiana and you drive through Indianapolis, the medians are, and I love the Circle City, but the medians are busted up. They've got cracks with weeds growing through them. They're not maintained the way that they are. You drive down Corkscrew Road here where my office sits, and you see beautiful landscaping. You see, curated just design, and you see very, very appealing stuff. We need money for that. That costs money. We need tax revenue. That's why I say eliminating it, all or nothing, is not the argument. And I think that we just have to be really careful. I think that 100,000 gives us a chance to just look and see. One thing that the government has been doing in Florida is they've been sending in Doge experts into counties, and they're looking at the books, and they're really pressuring local counties and saying you're collecting too much in taxes. And so I feel like that is a diversion thing. It's a look over here, look at what we're doing. The fact of the matter is the homeowner needs relief. And I want to provide a response to the government that says we have to take some kind of an action. We don't want you to stop collecting tax revenue, but here's a way we can do it. And I don't even believe that we would have to take from anywhere else. I think that there are just little items that we could just tighten up on a little bit and pull a little bit from here and a little bit from there. And ultimately, we're talking about county taxes. So this is even at the local level. If you see someone in a restaurant that's a lawmaker or someone that has influence, I'm asking them, hey, what's going on with that?
Accountability. You said it. That's all we want as taxpayers. Accountability.
Yeah.
Where is our money going?
Yeah. Florida is awesome because it doesn't have a state income tax. And that's something that makes us very attractive to businesses coming in. We tax mortgages. I every time I do a deal, I'm sending Uncle Sam or actually Uncle Ron a check for doc stamps and tangible tax and stuff like that. And we need all that, and we want all of that. But I think that working on this project now for a couple of months has allowed me to step away from just Title Adam. Like you were talking about, this isn't a Minneapolis thing. This has nothing to do with Title Adam from the standpoint of where you do title. Any of my peers in the industry should be signing this.
Right.
Any of my competitors, I will say, they should be signing it. Sure. Well, you're not going to enrich me by signing it, but you might enrich yourself. And we work as a community. And I think when we can get behind community advocacy, the Innovate Act, this petition, what we're doing is we're actually creating something that's going to foster success in all of us moving forward. And you know what? Hey, if you happen to do good too, that's great. So I really appreciate the work that you're doing with the Innovate Act. I know that it does have a very big impact on your business, but it has a big impact on my business as well. And the professionals that are listening to this, that are in homeowners insurance, that are in property surveying, anyone that ties and touches your work should really be a raving fan of what you're doing there.